Okay, everybody, this is, I believe, the third video on simple interest and compound interest, third or fourth, somewhere. So from here, let's say if I started off with, now I'm still talking about compound interest, we're going further into compound interest, but let's say I start off with still that same amount, $500 at 3%, and maybe we're talking about still that same length of time, 4 years. And now what we're getting into, we still don't know the interest yet. We're going to be calculating that throughout. And then our total or balance amount, that's our capital A. And then there's this new letter, N. N refers to how many times a year that we're going to be recalculating or rediscovering what our principal amount is. So what that means is we make more money on our interest, leaving our money in the bank, if we have more times that it's compounded. So if it's compounded 10 times a year, that's great. If it's compounded once a year, that's not so good. So it's kind of like a rating system. The more times you compound it, the better it is, the more money that we make. So they have like they have descriptions for how many times it's going to be compounded, your money. So if they say, oh, it's compounded annually, that means once a year. It's not really that great. They say biannually, it means in 6 months we reevaluate your total, and then we start from there, you make more money. Quarterly, that means 4 times a year, so it means like every 3 months. Sometimes they might say every 4 months. They'll just spell it out for you, how many months. Then it gets reevaluated. So 4 times 3 is 12 months, so it's 3 times a year. So we're going to do this problem where, let's say they say quarterly. Let's say they say every quarter it's compounded. Your amount is compounded. So what we're going to do is we're going to say our N value for this particular question is going to be 4, our N value. And here comes the equation, the big compound interest equation, probably the most difficult that we're going to see in this class. So A is going to equal, slightly different now, it's going to be your principal times that 1 plus, now usually we have just the rate, but now it's going to be the rate over the N value, that's going to be that 4, raised to the power of N, that quarterly amount, times the amount of time that we're going to do this for. So it's A equals P times 1 plus R over T to the NT. So we have A equals our principal amount, parentheses, 1 plus our R, our percentage rate, which is 0.03, over our N amount, 4 times a year. So it's N, 4, times the amount of years, 4. So that's everything substituted in. Now we got to calculate this crazy stuff. So 500 times, and what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and just calculate what's inside the parentheses a couple of times to simplify. So I might do 0.03 divided by 4 first. So I'm going to calculate 0.03 times, divided by 4 first, and I get 0.0075. So I get 0.0075, and then I'm going to add 1 to it. So I get 1.0075. Let me erase all those values. 1.0075. And then to the power of 4 times 4, well, 4 times 4 is just 16. So now I have this expression, 500 times this decimal to the power of 16. So now I use my calculator, 500, parentheses, 1.0075, parentheses, my caret key to the exponent of 16. And I'm going to get $563 point, and it comes out to be 496. So maybe it would round up to 50 cents. So I'll have 50 cents here. So this is going to be our grand total in 4 years. And as you can tell from this problem to the last problem that we have, the last videos, it came out to be less money even though it was 4 years. It's because now we are compounding it 4 times a year, not once a year. So our new principal amount is going to be higher, faster, and we gain more and more interest. So this is better for us. The more times it's compounded, the better it is, the more money that you'll have. So that's your grand total or your balance amount. All right, hopefully this helps.